Number 10.
I got to put Denver in because they led the league in sacks and they led the league in total defense. But here's the problem with Denver. Their turnover margin is -4. That's the worst in 14 years going into the playoffs. And I don't know who the quarterback is. Ronnie Hillman doesn't know who their quarterback is. I don't think Gary Kubiak today knew who their quarterback is. I don't know what they're doing at quarterback. I'm either going to get an old, immobile Peyton Manning or a young, immobile Brock Osweiler. So I don't know what to do with Denver. I love their defense, but I could make the argument, and I feel pretty safe saying this, it's the worst quarterback team of all of them in the playoffs, including Houston. I mean, have you seen Peyton Manning play? He leads the second in the NFL in interceptions. He hasn't played much in the last 2.5 months. So I don't know what to do with Denver. I'll put him at 10.
Number 9.
Minnesota Vikings, least penalized team, and they get after the quarterback, and it feels like they're better today than a month ago. Wildly inexperienced and fairly pedestrian at quarterback, and I think Seattle's a lousy matchup. But I got the Vikings at 9.
Number 8.
Washington's another tough team to get your arms around. Terrific turnover differential. They've won 4 straight. Kirk Cousins is completing 70% of his throws. And between Deshaun Jackson and Jordan Reed at wide receiver and tight end, they've got really nice weapons. But they haven't beaten a quality team this year. And the 3 good ones they played, the Jets, the Panthers, and the Patriots, clobbered them. I've got them at 8. I think the wise guys think Green Bay is going to go into Washington and win.
Number 7.
Kind of a flashy, fun team, the Chris Christie of the GOP field, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They won 6 of their last 8. Since week 8, they've thrown for over 3,000 yards. That leads the NFL. Antonio Brown, they're tremendous on the perimeter. They're a lot of fun. They may be the most of all the teams in the playoffs. I'm not sure anybody's more fun to watch than the Steelers. Here's 2 things, though. One thing that always worries me. Mike Tomlin in close games worries me. He's kind of a go-with-the-gut guy. Belichick's thought about everything. A lot of times with Tomlin, Haley, Big Ben, it kind of feels like in crucial moments, they're not doing anything more than rolling the dice. I don't feel great about them in a lot of close games, and I think they'll be in close games.
Number 6.
Kansas City Chiefs, love their head coach, really like their defense, 27th in the league in yards per game. It's pretty obvious that Houston and Kansas City are going to be in a fist fight for 3.5 hours. That is a 23-20 football game. I like their coach. They don't turn it over. It's tough to run on them, so I put them at 6, but I don't see them as a Super Bowl winning team.
Number 5.
Same with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're close, though, but A.J. McCarron right now is starting. I never loved Andy Dalton. To me, he's a C quarterback. But I looked at the numbers, Dalton to A.J. McCarron, and Dalton qualifies as a C+. McCarron's closer to D+. Just not many yards per play. They haven't won a playoff game in 24 years. And even this roster, which is really good, has been awful in primetime games.
Number 4.
I don't know what to do with New England because if their offensive line is healthy, I could put them at number 1, but they've lost 4 of their last 6. Tom Brady was sacked 38 times this season. That's never been an issue. You can't win a Super Bowl with a bad offensive line. So they've got a great defense. They've got Brady. They've got Gronk. But Tom has less than 3 seconds to throw. I've got him as the 4th best team.
Number 3.
Arizona, they lost in Week 17 to snap a 9-game winning streak, but they led the league in yards per game and 2nd in points per game, and they're one of those rare NFL teams in 2015 that can beat you short stuff, bubble screens, and throw over the top. Arizona 3, and it's not that I don't like them, but I think the difference between 3, 2, and 1 is very slim.
Number 2.
Carolina led the league in points per game, but they haven't won a playoff game with this Cam Newton team, and I'd like to see them win a playoff game with Ron Rivera and Cam Newton. I just don't. I know this, 31 games with a pass for a touchdown and a rushing touchdown, and as much as we lament their receiving core, they're open, they don't drop it, and they find their way into the end zone. And I think they're tremendous in the front 7 defensively.
Number 1.
I got to give it to Seattle. Led the league in scoring defense, won 8 of their last 10. I don't care about the loss to the Rams. The Rams have always matched up very well with Seattle. Russell Wilson's had a spectacular season. Marshawn Lynch is coming back. They have a Super Bowl winning quarterback and coach. They have a roster full of experience in big games, which I think gives them the edge over Carolina and Arizona. I think right now in the NFL, Seattle is the number one team.